Hello, I'm glad to welcome you to my channel Between Us. I'm starting my own project and I'm inspired by real stories about betrayal and relationships. If this topic resonates with you, please support me with a like, a comment, and by subscribing to my channel. Your support means a lot to me.
She was braiding her hair by the sink in the bathroom when I came back from work with takeout food, in a pretty good mood. It could have been a movie night. I lifted the bag and nodded toward the couch. The blanket's ready. Just pick something without superheroes. She didn't turn around. I can't tonight, she said. The girls and I are going out for coffee, just to catch up. She smiled quickly, politely, like it was rehearsed, as if she'd been practicing it all week. Plans have changed a bit, she added, still tying her ponytail. Don't wait up for me. Her hand was shaking so much that it smudged her eyeliner. That was something new. Not fear, but concern, sharp and precise, like a clock striking 8. If I had known where this would lead, I would have chosen a different dinner. And maybe I would have installed a lock with faster screws. I set the food down. 10 minutes, I said. Sit down, eat with me, it'll get cold. I promised Jenny I'd help her pick out tiles. She drew out the word promised as if it deserved special attention. Her bag was already packed. You're nervous, I said. She laughed quickly. Because of the tiles, probably. Then she put on shoes she never wore for coffee. Black, leather, with pointed toes. The kind you choose when you expect someone will be looking at you a little too closely. Text me when you're heading home, I told her. Why are you my dad now? No, I said. I'm the one who bought dinner. She closed the door with her shoulder. Don't be dramatic, Aaron. The lock clicked shut behind her. Silence settled over the house like in a church basement after everyone has left.
Chairs, crumbs, nobody. I ate alone. The food tasted like cardboard with an excuse. That was the beginning. Scene 1. Kitchen table. 2 plates. 1 used. The signal was clear. Still, I started with patience, because that's what grown men do, before they stop. She got back near midnight. I was in the garage, sorting tools. She stepped in, holding her phone face down. You're still up? I work early, I said. Told you not to wait. I told you to text. I forgot. No, you chose not to. She rolled her eyes. Are we really fighting over coffee? Jen's going through something. Then you're her hero. You always get like this, talking down. I'm not. I'm just noticing patterns. What patterns? She dropped her tote on the washer. You're being ridiculous. Tuesday coffee, nervous hands, dressed like a job interview, no text, home late. That pattern. She stared at me, expression flat. It's innocent. Good. Then you can respect my time. I wiped down a wrench and set it in place. New rule. If you're out late, just tell me where you are and who you're with. Quick heads up. It's respect. I don't report to you. You don't. But we're partners. Or we're not. I don't do silent shifts in my own house. She crossed her arms. I'm not a kid. Then it should be easy. She didn't respond, just walked inside. Doors thudded. Water ran. I went to bed on my side. Left her the whole ocean. She gave me silence for 3 days, the kind where every answer is half a syllable. I kept my voice level and my schedule tighter, stopped brushing her shoulder in passing, switched my gym time to evenings. If she wanted distance, I let the hallway stretch. Friday came with a backyard cookout at our neighbor Mark's. Burgers, folding chairs, paper plates. I figured a little sunshine might help. She stayed glued to her phone, thumbs tapping like a metronome. I was manning the grill when Mark's wife, Rachel, nudged me. She okay? She's fine, I said. Because men always say that. until we don't. Jenna showed up loud and laughing in a bomber jacket. She hugged my wife like she was saving her. Didn't even glance at me. That told me what story she'd heard. Later, by the cooler, my wife walked over for a seltzer. I kept it low-key. Are we good? We're fine. That's not what I asked. She cracked the can open. Stop being intense. It's not intense. It's basic. I raised my voice just enough for Jenna to hear, but not enough to make a scene. If you want a separate life, schedule it. Let me know. No drama. Jenna's eyebrows lifted. My wife's smile thinned. Public rules now? Public clarity saves time. She scoffed. You don't own my time. No, I own mine. I don't loan it out to question marks. That one landed. I saw it in the way she looked at Jenna, like she needed backup. Jenna avoided eye contact, pretended to study a napkin. We ate. The guys were arguing about sports. I stepped away to take a call from my foreman, Pete, about a Monday delivery. I let it run long, not on purpose. It just felt easier talking to someone who didn't turn every sentence into a puzzle. When we got home, she finally softened, for the first time in a week. That was the turning point, though I didn't have the words for it yet. She stood in the bedroom doorway, hair down. I heard what you said. About time. About respect, she said. You're right. This week was a mess. Okay. I should have told you about the coffee. Jenna really needed me. Jenna always needs a spotlight. That's not fair. It's true. She sat on the edge of the bed. I've been overwhelmed. Work's been rough. My mom's health hasn't been great. You never said anything. You've been busy. I made time. You didn't show up. She bit her lip. Let me make it up to you. How? Dinner tomorrow. Just us. No phones. I'll plan it. I nodded once. Good. Do that. She placed a hand on my knee, like waving a white flag. I met her eyes. Let the quiet speak for itself. We fell asleep that night with a solid 2 feet of space between us. A silent truce. She followed through. Dinner was at a little place downtown. Dim lighting, wobbly bistro chairs, candles flickering. She was present. We talked like grown-ups. She asked about Pete's new baby, laughed at my story about the forklift mishap. When the check came, she beat me to it, put her card down first. Don't faint, she joked. Noted, I said. Keep the receipt. Walking back to the car, she slipped her arm through mine. See, we're fine. We're on better behavior, I said. That's not the same. You always need something to be wrong. No, I just need respect. She didn't respond, but she held on a little tighter. Sunday afternoon, I was out fixing the gutter. She made brownies, my favorite kind, and brought one out on a napkin. The first illusion. It tasted like apology and strategy. You're sweet when you're quiet, she said with a half smile. Quiet works, I said. You notice more. Monday morning was ordinary. Coffee, headlines, 2 adults moving on autopilot. I grabbed my thermos and headed to work. Pete asked if I'd come watch the college game at O'Malley's on Wednesday. I said yes. First time I'd agreed to something midweek in months. It felt like reclaiming something. That night at home, she was on the couch with her laptop. I sat across from her, sorting invoices. Then her phone buzzed on the coffee table. She reached for it, but a second too late. I saw the screen. Hey, same spot as last time. 7:30. I want to see you. No name, just a first initial. She froze, swiped, locked it, set the phone down like it was burning hot. What is it? I asked, voice steady. Nothing. Text at 7:26. Time. Location. It's a coworker. He's going through a divorce. Just wants advice. I'm trying to be supportive. Men don't ask married women for nighttime advice. They talk to therapists or friends. It's not like that. Like what? I have to go, she said, suddenly standing. She looked for the shoes she'd kicked under the coffee table. Jenna needs me. She's stuck. 10 minutes ago, it was calm. Now it's urgent? Please don't start. I'm not starting. I'm watching. She grabbed her tote. I'll be right back. I didn't stand. Didn't argue. Just nodded, like a supervisor wrapping up a meeting. She left. 10 minutes can be innocent, but 10 minutes after a text like that? That's choreography. I washed my cup, wiped the counters, then made a list. Lists help when storms still look like fog. First, meet with a bank consultant. Second, document everything I own: house, truck, retirement, tools I bought with my own money. Third, breathe. I didn't sleep much. At dawn, I drove to Pete's early and told him I'd be late. He looked up from under the hood of his truck. You okay? I'm making adjustments. Need to crash on the couch? No, I said. I need a notary. He grunted. Ah, that kind of Monday. Exactly that kind. At the bank, I transferred my savings into a separate, secure account under my name. That money came from years of Saturday overtime and selling a boat I never once took out. This wasn't about hiding anything. It was about protecting what I built. I updated the beneficiaries, ordered new cards, booked a meeting with a financial specialist for the next morning. No drama, just a checklist. Then I stopped by the county office. Paperwork has a way of ending arguments that words can't. I filled in every line, read the fine print. My hand stayed steady. The clerk, an older guy with gray hair and practical glasses, stamped what needed stamping. You sure? He asked. Yes. He gave me that look, the kind men give each other when one of them cuts a rope. All right then. When I got home, she was on the front porch talking on the phone about plants with someone. Light voice. Joking a little too hard. I walked past her, dropped the folder in my office, opened my laptop, and started dividing what was hers to touch from what wasn't. Streaming accounts, utility bills, passwords. I unchecked boxes, removed access. Not out of spite, but with precision. If she wanted independence, I made it clean. That evening, she tried illusion number 2. She made a full dinner, roasted chicken salad, overloaded with toppings. Candles she usually saved for the holidays. She wore that soft sweater I used to compliment. I wanted to do something nice, she said, standing too close to the stove. She reached for my wrist. We've been off. Let's reset. Resetting starts with honesty, I said, not choreography. I'm trying here. Then look me in the eye and tell me some guy isn't texting you to meet at night. She blinked slowly. You're obsessing. I'm verifying. You're being controlling. I'm setting standards. We ate in silence. She kept starting sentences and abandoning them, like shopping carts left in parking lots. After dishes, she sat next to me on the couch. Her hand crept over and rested on my arm. I didn't move. You're cold, she whispered. I match temperature. That's petty. No, it's a mirror. She sighed. You can be impossible. Noted. Wednesday, I went to O'Malley's with Pete and Mike. We watched the game, shouted at missed plays, and ate wings that tasted like freedom, with a side of heartburn. My phone sat face up on the table. No texts, no coordinates. Mike looked over his beer. You're quieter than usual. I'm thinking about walking away or fixing things. He nodded. There's peace in finishing. When I got home, the house was dark. Her car was gone. I sat in the truck a while, engine idling, then shut it off and went inside. Lights off. Quiet. The couch felt like it had a memory. At 11:58, I called her. Straight to decline. Just a clean click. The kind that says I'm busy with someone better. I called again. Declined. At 12:03, a message lit up. I'll call when I'm free. I typed back, no emotion. No need. Stay with him. House is near you tonight. Then I blocked the number. I stood up, grabbed the folder from the office, and laid it on the dining table. Pulled out 2 suitcases from the closet. I packed her things carefully, like breaking down a job site, so no one could say I left a mess. Just the essentials, the things she used daily. I placed the bags by the front door. On top, I set the documents, dates, signatures, decisions, everything laid out, clear and final. I changed the code on the front door, slid the chain lock in place, like a period at the end of a sentence, and I waited. She arrived 10 minutes after the message. I heard the hurried steps on the porch, keys scraping the lock, but the key didn't fit anymore. She knocked, then pounded. "Aaron, open the door. What is this?" I turned the deadbolt. She rushed inside, saw the bags, saw the folder, felt the new stillness in the room, like the air before a storm. Her words came fast. "Are you serious? This is crazy. You can't just lock me out of—" "You were out. I locked the house with friends." She lied without blinking. Oscar-worthy. "Friends don't call you at midnight and demand time like you're a rideshare," I said. "You're paranoid," she snapped. "Your phone disagrees." She flared. "So now you're tracking me? Reading my messages? That's sick." "Aaron, you left a text out in the open like a billboard. You declined my calls twice. Then you told me you'd call back when you were free." Her voice climbed into practiced outrage. "So I'm not allowed to have a life now? I can't talk to anyone without you hovering. You've gotten controlling. Everyone sees it." "Everyone who?" I asked. "Jenna, my mom, the girls. Jenna needs a mirror. Your mom needs peace. And the girls need new material." She pointed at the bags by the door. "This is emotional punishment." "No," I said. "This is consequence." "For what? Talking to someone? Helping a friend?" "For stepping outside and disrespecting what we built." She scoffed, hard enough to make her earrings shake. "You're no saint, Aaron. You work late. You go out with your friends. You barely look at me half the time. I was here when you disappeared. I adjusted when you didn't. I asked for respect, and you called it control. You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I'm done reacting." Her eyes dropped to the folder on the table. "What's that?" "Clarity." She flipped it open, saw the header, and went still. Her mouth moved, but whatever speech she'd prepared for another future died right there. "You filed this morning," she said. "You didn't even talk to me. I tried for weeks. You staged coffee nights and emergencies. You blindsided me. You hid in plain sight." She swallowed. "You're throwing away a marriage over a text." "I'm ending a pattern." She shook her head. "Are you happy? You just proved every fear I ever had about you. You're cold. You punish. You need control. I want self-respect in my own home." She lifted one bag. It looked heavier than clothes. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Somewhere that fits your calendar." "Aaron, please." Her voice softened, fragile. "I messed up. I've been lonely. You've been distant. I didn't know how to talk to you. I made mistakes. We can fix this." "No." "We can see a counselor." "No counselors," I said, calm. "There's nothing to mediate. You applied for another life. I'm approving it." Then the tears came. Real this time. Strategic, but real. Didn't change anything. You're cruel. I'm clear. I didn't do anything physical, she blurted, like that would undo the moment. I didn't ask. So that's it. You're just closing the door. Yes. You'll regret this. I regret not doing it sooner. She grabbed the second bag. What about the house? The savings? I can protect what I built. You can talk to whoever you want. The numbers are what they are. You're leaving me with nothing. You traded something priceless for attention from a stranger. I tapped the folder. Read page 3. It's fair. More fair than the last 2 weeks. You're a monster. No, I said. I'm a man who stopped arguing with silence. She stared at me the way people stare at stop signs when they realize they're real. Then she tried one last move. Sweetness poured over gravel. Can we just sit down? 10 minutes. No phones. Just us. You already had those minutes, I said. You spent them. She opened her mouth to fire back. I raised a hand. Enough. We stood there for a moment. Then she lifted the bags and stepped onto the porch. The night swallowed her, like a parking lot after closing. I placed my copy of the paperwork on the table by the door. Then I said the last thing I would ever say to her as a husband. You went too far. This is the only path left. Good luck. I closed the door. The new code locked. The chain settled. The house exhaled. I didn't. The days after weren't peaceful. That's the lie people sell when they dress clarity up like self-care. Real life is louder. She called from numbers I didn't recognize. Used Jenna's phone, her mother's. A blocked line that tried 3 times at 3 in the morning. I let voicemail catch everything. She left long voicemails, starting with apologies, ending with threats. I didn't listen to most of them. At work, Pete glanced over a coil of wire. You good? I'm busy, I said. Busy is good, he nodded. Busy means you're in control. One evening, Jenna showed up at the fence like she was dropping into a sitcom. No hello, just started in. You can't just kick her out like that. Do you know how that looks? People are talking. I leaned on the top plank. People would still talk if I let it keep going. She's heartbroken. She's resourceful. She'll land. You're cold. No, I said. You're confusing calm with cold. She huffed. She said you were always about yourself. I was about us, I replied. She was about whoever clapped the loudest. You're impossible. And you're dismissed. I turned and walked back inside. That was my boundary. Clear, public, witnessed, simple. The divorce moved forward because I gave it structure. Everything on rails. Numbers got tallied. The house was mine before we met. The shop gear? Paid from my LLC. The savings? Moved clean, documented. She pushed back over furniture and gifts from her family. I stayed straight. Offer, counter, signature. I didn't gloat. I didn't trade jabs. I didn't meet in diners to talk it through. I gave her the same courtesy I expect in traffic. Signal, merge, keep moving. In the middle of all that, our neighbor, Mrs. Patel, caught me at the mailbox. Big changes, she said. Her eyebrows weren't nosy, just kind. Necessary ones, I replied. Peace will come, she told me. Not first, but it will. She was right. It didn't come first. I kept my routine tight. Gym, shop, home. Stopped cooking for 2. Left the bed with its new boundaries. When friends invited me out, I went. Didn't ask permission from ghosts. One night, Mike talked me into trivia at the bowling alley. A woman named Claire sat across from me. She asked about my truck. Called me out when I blanked on a state capital. She wasn't a fix. She was oxygen. I didn't make promises. I said yes to a coffee. That was it. My ex, she hated that word, but names are earned, didn't let go easily. She left handwritten notes in the mailbox like we were back in high school. Tried to corner me at the supermarket. Every time, it started with, "Can we please just," and ended with, "You owe me." I told her the same thing every time. I owe you the truth. You got it. The rest is paperwork. The day the papers were finalized, I didn't throw a party. I worked a full day, 9 hours straight. Then, I drove home on a road that looked the same, but didn't feel like a loop anymore. I parked, sat a moment, and let silence be what it was. I see my friends more now, not as an escape, just as life. There's poker night at Pete's garage, small buy-in, big stories. Saturdays, I'll drive past the river with no one asking when I'll be back. There's Claire, who still won't let me cheat at trivia and never treats me like a fixer-upper. She asks where I want to go on Sundays, and she means it. People ask if I miss the marriage. I miss the version I signed up for. That one was clean. The version I had at the end? It was a performance, with too many understudies. She didn't get the house, didn't get the savings. She got what made sense. Nothing that could be polished into a trophy. I didn't slam the door on her life. I just closed mine to her. She moved into a small place across town with thin walls. I hear things, bits from people who still orbit her. How she tells the story changes depending on the room. Sometimes I'm the villain. Sometimes I'm the stone she broke herself on. Doesn't matter. She's chasing sympathy. I'm not in the audience. If I regret anything, it's the time I spent explaining the basics to someone who had already picked a different classroom. I gave her patience. She gave me excuses. In the end, I handed her the one thing she kept pretending she wanted: freedom. There's a small note taped inside my toolbox now, just a greasy index card, not some quote for a coffee mug, not spiritual wisdom. It's practical. Respect is the first bill due. When it isn't paid, you cut the service. You don't issue warnings. You don't make speeches. You don't count to 3. You shut it off and move on. That's not cruelty. That's maintenance.
And life? Life simply goes much better when you proactively take care of what truly belongs to you. And finally stop funding what clearly doesn't belong to you at all.
There are moments when narratives reach their conclusion, but the deep reflections continue to linger. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I truly appreciate your time. See you in the very next story.